Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Mick Alphaneme. So, as you know, everything's been going great with XRP as far as what Ripple is doing, the SEC case, Ripple building corridors, Ripple advancing the protocol, making new partnerships. They've been firing on all cylinders. It's a great time to be an XRP holder. Okay, so today, Ripple actually put out a document. They've done this before. It's one of those documents where you go to ripple.com and you have to actually put in your information, what company you work for and things of that nature in order to download it. But because of that, I want to show some respect to Ripple. They are a for-profit company, and just like myself, we want to make some money. So I'm not going to be showing the actual images of this document. We're just going to read it. And then if you want to read the document yourself, go to ripple.com or their Twitter. They have a link there. And then you can download this document yourself. I really encourage you to do that because it has a lot of great information in this document. When they do it like this, they have a lot of impactful information in these documents, especially this one. We're just going to take a little bit. We're going to discuss it. All right. Let me tell you something. We have done a great job here on the channel, not just myself, the subscribers as well. All of my people that have been here since day one. Some of these individuals are great researchers, and some of the things we have postulated, we have been getting confirmed this year, haven't we? And as we were saying, and as we came together, our great minds came together and we postulated, it's just a matter of time. The explosion is coming and is bigger than what people anticipate, because there has never been anything where this much money could come into it, flood into it all at once in a short time period. And let me tell you something, even with the commercial banks, central banks, and the large business institutions. And let me tell you something, the large business institutions will be first. But even over a 5-year span, that's not a lot of time to become rich. That's not a lot of time. What I mean is, like, that's not too long, okay? We're talking about mind-blowing riches, possible generational wealth. And of course, that depends on how many tokens you're holding and if everything goes according to plan. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, and it doesn't matter to me whether you buy XRP or not. I'm just sharing my research and things that I have found and some of my opinions. Okay, let's begin here. This is on page 6, by the way. So if you have the PDF, I did post the link for the members only this morning. So some people already probably read through the entirety of this PDF. So let's begin here. This is on page 6, big picture. Now, let's just pay very, very close attention to what they're saying here. Big picture. The first bullet point says there are high expectations within institutions for wide scale adoption. Wait a minute. Why is that relevant? See, most people will gloss over this, but not. I didn't. This is not from retail saying it. This is not from your favorite YouTuber saying it. This is a document that Ripple itself has admitted that they have spoken with thousands of institutions to collect data on. And this is how they come by way of producing these documents. So this is by some of Ripple's most brilliant minds, and they wouldn't say it if it's not true. They're not saying retail. They're not saying your favorite YouTubers are saying this. They're literally telling you that they have gathered this information from the institutions themselves. Who are the institutions that Ripple is dealing with? Large business institutions, commercial banks, and central banks. That's who they've been. And so now let's read it again while keeping that in mind. It changes everything. If you're a holder of XRP, you're doing well, in my opinion. You're doing great. There are high expectations within institutions. I told you, they are salivating over the possibility to use these things because there's money on the table. Who doesn't want to save hundreds of thousands of dollars? I think the only people that are going to question whether to use these or not, probably small businesses, because they just don't have that education curve just yet. Small businesses don't have anybody reaching out to them just yet in mass. It might happen. But in mass, to show them the benefits of how much money you're going to save by cutting out legacy systems and using something like the XRPL or Stellar or Algorand, they're the only ones. But the big institutions, the banks, everyone else, They understand, hey, we're going to save millions. You saw the document last year. We went over a document from the Bank of International Settlements. You saw how much they said that they could possibly save. We're talking about millions of dollars. And that's just at the outset. That's just at the beginning. So as time goes on and things improve and the systems start to flow a little bit better, we're talking about tens of millions, then into maybe possibly hundreds of millions. Listen, as the technology advances and as the legacy system has to acquiesce to the new financial system, and they will congeal fully. And once that money starts coming in, I promise you, money changes everything. Person's attitude changes quickly when that money starts rolling in. I could foresee the legacy system loving the new financial system almost more than they love the old system, because so much money will be made on every level. We're not just talking about you and I, but everyone's going to make lots of money with this. A rising tide raises all ships. Okay? They said there are high expectations within institutions for wide scale adoption. Do you know what it's going to do to that price? That sentence alone is muy lindo, mi gente. That sentence alone just told you there's going to be a razor toe. Razor toe. I'm sorry. I have to do at least one razor toe. It makes me feel good. Makes some people out there feel good. I just do what I want. That's the closest that you're ever going to get to a guarantee. Closest you'll ever get. Wide scale adoption is what the institutions are expecting. Thank goodness they made it an interoperable system, so that all the institutions, no matter what bank coin they choose to utilize, their money can flow seamlessly one into the next. One seamless system. It just based upon perception, we're calling it by different names. So we're going XRP, Algorand, but they're all interoperable. So one flows into the next. There's nothing that's going to block the flow of money. They're going to be all of those trillions. We're going to begin with trillions. Will be flowing into one and then the other. And hopefully, as it expands, it's going to be into the quadrillions. Hopefully, this is the new financial system. Agnostic bridge currencies, CBDCs, national digital currencies, synthetic CBDCs, stablecoin liquidity providers, cushions. Look at all that we're in. Tokenization, they talk about that here as well. Tokenization. I'm getting fired up. I'm a little bit excited. I'm having a good time. I hope you're having a good time out there. Wide-scale adoption and impact of blockchain technology, cryptocurrencies, and central bank digital currency. Second bullet point, still on page 6. The technologies and assets are maturing. I've been saying this for the longest. We're just starting to come into the maturation of the technology. There's still growth left. While so many people last year were saying that crypto had reached its peak. I read this. I couldn't even believe what people were saying. Maybe they were just trying to get attention. Same thing they said with NFTs. They said NFTs already reached their peak. And I understand, maybe to some, it might have appeared that way because you had such a parabolic run and so many people made so much money off NFTs. You haven't seen anything yet. I said that, didn't I? We're just entering the maturation of these technologies. There is still more to come. There hasn't been mass adoption. Let's go back to first bullet point. There hasn't been mass adoption yet. You haven't seen anything yet. All the big money, I've been saying this since last year, have I not? That all of the big money is on the side. I've been saying that because it's just logical. Nobody wants to get subpoenaed from the SEC, and they will. The government likes to have a leg up on big business and big money. They like to bully them. No one wants to receive a subpoena from the SEC, so all the big money would logically be on the side and wait until the coast is clear, and then we can step in, and then you're going to see a legacy system money flood, the likes of which you have never seen, and that's what I'm calling the tsunami. Well, that's one of the first big waves, right? There's different degrees of tsunamis. That's the first tsunami. The second tsunami will be, and you're going to see a heck of a parabolic run from that alone. That legacy system money is huge, and it comes and it backs a lot of the big businesses as well. Okay, so you have that. The commercial bank and the central bank money is the tsunami of all tsunamis. It will change the world and change our lives forever. That's when people will see generational wealth if it all goes according to plan. Of course, no guarantees. We have to keep our eyes open. We have to continue. This research is It's continuous. We have to know about those catalysts. Let's continue on here. The technologies and assets are maturing, with more enterprises leveraging them in various ways and more consumers understanding and owning both crypto and NFTs. Oh, we're going to make so much money. I mean, I can't speak for you, but I'm just trying to be inclusive. I mean, I don't know. I'm moving some NFTs. Oh, and there's so much more coming. And I do believe in diversifying of the different platforms that you sell your NFTs on. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. I like to diversify. The same way I diversify when it comes to the bank coins. I hold a healthy serving of all the bank coins. No matter which one goes parabolic, I'm going to ensure that I get paid and make some money. We're here to make money, not lose money. Okay? Get money at the top and money at the bottom. Making money does not stop, but money itself is only a pathway to freedom. Come and go as you please. Have that house you always wanted. Let me tell you something. I have a laugh. I was going to share a story about a mansion, and then if you see this mansion, right, you're like, man, okay, that's cute. Then you go to a few towns over. There is literally, listen. You have the house that you want. I say that because there's so many people that watch me. They're like, well, Alphanim, I have a mansion. Are you sure that's a mansion? Because there's people living in places that are like castles right now. The first place when you enter the gate, I'm telling you from memory, look at the eyes. The first place you enter through the gate, that looks like the mansions that typically the people have. What? That's just the gathering house. That's just the house where the guests come and play, and it's just a little pool in there. That's not the real mansion. The people with the real legacy system money, the people with the real generational wealth, you have to drive at least a quarter mile down that long street. That's not a street, that's their driveway. A quarter mile, quarter and a half. And when you get to the back, you're gonna pass a second house. That's the guest house. That's not even just where people gather, have fun, a little pool in there. No, that's just the guest house. That looks like a mansion too, doesn't it? That's cute, yeah. Then you drive a little bit further. There's a castle in the back. This place, and everybody in that neighborhood has the same. That's a mansion. That's a mansion. Yes. When you want something, maybe you don't want something like that, but I'm saying you can have whatever it is. You can upgrade finally. You can do these things that you want. I jumped way out the window with that one. Like it was just on my mind. I'm sorry. When I come to you, it's genuine. I just talk to you. You're distracting me with stories. What are you doing out there? Let's get back to the article. Blocked third bullet point. Oh, wait, let's continue on. With more enterprises leveraging them in various ways and more consumers understanding and owning both crypto and NFTs. Third bullet point. Blockchain-based use cases and their related benefits continue to multiply at a rapid rate. Haven't I been saying it's been multiplying at I use exponential as the word usually. At an exponential rate, they're confirming everything that we've been saying. And I'm not going to kid you. It feels great. It feels great. That means that what we were doing, it was working. We were saying this stuff last year. Governments at a rapid rate for institutions, governments. Didn't I tell you that governments are going to be utilizing these things? I told you. You see what Algorand is doing? Getting close with the governments. You see what Stellar is doing? Getting close to the governments. And you already know. Ripple has a member on the Faster Payments Council as well as the Digital Euro Association. When that parabolic run happens, I hope you've been doing your cardio. When you look into your account and that, if everything goes according to plan, no guarantees, but let's just play with that thought here because everything's going so good. And you look at that price going up, you're going to get heart palpitation. Your heart's going to start racing, and that adrenaline is going to shoot through your body like you're about to have a fight or a match. Anybody who's been in a fight or a match knows what I'm talking about. You stepped in that square circle or the octagon or on the wrestling mat or the jiu-jitsu mat. You know what I'm talking about. Talking about that adrenaline is going to go all the way up. Prepare yourself. Stay healthy. Drink water. Get some sleep. Don't be like me. Some of my subscribers out there, they asked me, what was the question? It was like, do I sleep well? Or something akin to that. Do I sleep well? I've been so used to staying up at night for so long. I'm just used to it. So I sleep light, the slightest sound and I'm up like a wolf, like a lion. What's that sound? What's that sound? I don't know why. It's just the way that I am. So a lot of times I'm up, I read books. I used to read a lot of books. Now I read PDFs and stuff like that and crypto information. So don't be like me. Get sleep is what I mean. Stay healthy. Get some good sleep. Okay. As would be expected for what is still a relatively new technology. There's so much more to come. Lack of understanding and the slow evolution of regulations in some jurisdictions acting as key barriers to greater adoption. Slow evolution of regulations, United States. I'm so disappointed in the United States. What is wrong with the United States? I mean, don't get me wrong. United States government has always been slow to adopt technologies, but holy smokes, you would think that in this modern day, in this modern age, with the type of education curve that we have, I'm talking about with the blockchains providing it. And trust me, Ripple has been doing a great job. Stellar has been having a ton of meetings trying to update these people and teach them. Algorand has been doing the same thing. You would think that they would understand that in order to stay the so-called number one country in the world and bring in all of this big money and continue to thrive, not just survive, but thrive, that you would need to have at least, I mean, if not mass adoption immediately, you could at least have the proper regulations in place. Why is this so difficult? Because of corruption. Because of corruption. It's a sad day. It's a sad day. And they're hurting themselves and their people. The very same people they claim to protect they're literally damaging them. Horribly so. Imagine how many people could benefit using one of these crypto accounts to save money and have an unbelievable annual percentage yield as well as get rewards. And also have some say in how the account and protocol and everything that they're utilizing, how it actually is able to carry things out and how the companies and foundations that are behind them carry things out, because you could even be a governor on most of them. So you have some power. Imagine how many people would love to do that, but they're afraid. They know about the SEC case. And also, without regulation, then there's always these implications like with stable coins and things like that about taxes and such. Like, it's all of this complication in the United States. But yes, the slow evolution of regulations in some jurisdictions are acting as key barriers to greater adoption. Greater adoption by who? Let's go back once again. It says for institutions, governments, and consumers. Well, those are the main consumers. Institutions and governments, mainly. And when they step in, which they haven't yet, when they step in, especially the states in the United States, those prices are going to explode. And here's the interesting part. You see, the large business institutions, the commercial banks and the central banks, if they want to remain on the good foot with a lot of those states, because they have a lot of close ties with political members. Trust me on this. A lot of money floats around. There's a lot of lobbying that goes on. There's a lot of under the table money. They have to make a little bit of way, a little bit of room, a little shoulder room for the states. And that means that states will be en masse, in my humble opinion, in the future, who knows how long this is going to take, rolling out payroll across the blockchain. Who are they going to trust more than the protocol or crypto coins that the banks trust, which is who? The bank coins. That is going to be beautiful. That type of money rolling across. We already know Algorand is already doing that. We know that. They're already setting up for that. Algorand's price is going to explode. We know that Ripple has been talking about it recently as well. Rolling payroll out. And I say, bring on the money. Oh, it's a great time to be alive. It really, really is. I'm just feeling good today. You know, I have my times. I'm not always like this. Some people are like, I'm not always like this, but I feel good right now. And I feel good talking to everybody out there, man. Everybody out there, man, I appreciate everybody out there. And I have some good conversations with people in some of these comment sections, the members only section. I appreciate everybody out there. I really do. Okay. Specific tokens. Now, there's a part here. Let me scroll down for a moment. There is a very interesting part because I don't want to hold you up too long. Some of these videos get a little long in the tooth, even though I'm having an awesome time. I hope you are as well. There's a part here where it talks about the NFT explosion, and they verify not verify, but they back up what I was saying before, and I can't find it. But what they were saying is they said last year, NFTs had a 38,000% increase, explosion in price, right? Um, Unbelievable. I'm trying to find that little piece here. I hope I quoted that correct. Wait. Okay, in trading volume. Okay, here it is. This is on page 9. Page 9, and it goes as such. Growing interest in NFTs exploded this year with an incredible 38,000% increase in trading volume. What? People are making money. You better start making some NFTs. Remember, you don't have to trade NFTs. That's the thing. So many people think that, what if I buy something? Who is going to buy it from me? You don't have to just trade NFTs. You can sell your art, especially if you're an artist, if you make visual art, if you make music, even if you gave it up for some years. It's time, if ever, to get back into the game. And NFT, your music, it's one of a kind. Your visual art, whatever it is you do, somebody out there probably will buy it because it's one of a kind. Now the value has increased because they're the only ones that have this. Someone else is going to buy it. So you can create NFTs and sell them. You don't have to buy them from someone and then trade them. You don't have to participate in that way, or you could. There's so many different ways to make money with NFTs. Oh, they're going to make people a lot more money. 38,000% increase in trading volume between 2020 and 2021. And with over $10 billion worth of NFTs traded in quarter 3 of 2021 alone. That is you see that face? That's disgusting money. I had to have some. I had to have some because I got some. Look, and like I said, I like to diversify different platforms, different NFTs, you know. Some of my best work on Aubries.io, some of my other work, which my more experimental stuff might be on another one. Maybe I sell it on Hedera. It depends. So I like to diversify so I can reach different audiences until maybe one day in the future, all of the NFT websites, maybe they can congeal or something. I don't know how that works, but I like to diversify. But $10 billion worth of NFTs traded in Q3 of 2021 alone. And that is mind blowing. Here's the thing. And I told you, you haven't seen anything yet. It's not over. The metaverse hasn't even come into play yet. Not fully. And I took good profits off Zilliqa, by the way. Good profits off Zilliqa, who is making a tremendous metaverse world. And I think their price will explode again. If they can pull all of it off, it'll explode again. But anyway, when that metaverse is fully up and running, all of those metaverses, whatever you call it, big business steps in, they're in there, NFTs are going to fly. We haven't seen anything yet. It's not over yet. Yeah, maybe there's a dip. Maybe there's a correction going on. Maybe there's less interest now. In the future, when all the big businesses step in, there's more regulatory clarity, expect NFTs to explode the likes of which you've never seen anything explode before. Then let me tell you something. The money, I believe, it's just my humble opinion, no guarantees. I'm not a financial advisor. But the money that will be made in NFTs, because we saw this before, the money that will be made in NFTs will completely eclipse crypto money. Just look at last year. Made some pretty good money in crypto, didn't we? But the NFT money was disgusting. Hey, I can only tell you, this is my opinion, but it's based on what I witnessed and what I've researched, okay? But there's more to come. So here we go. Let's read a little bit more. Artists, musicians, movie stars, athletes, brands, and more are seeing NFTs as a new way of engaging their audiences with something that's innovative. And the scenarios that NFTs enable are expanding rapidly. Value in the metaverse. So they even touch on the metaverse a little bit here. Let's just read this little tidbit, okay? And remember, go to ripple.com, download this PDF. It's 44 pages of very potent information, extremely impactful. You want to read this. Value in the metaverse. NFTs are now being widely touted as the key technology for powering ownership in what is called the metaverse. And all those people that got metaverse land, ooh, they're going to get paid handsomely. They're going to make a lot. That metaverse land, businesses are going to need it. They're going to want it. When you have, and I threw this out there, I threw a couple of things out there for them to put in the metaverse. I don't see anybody doing it, but they will. I threw out there last year, early. I said they should put movie theaters in there. Let people go virtually to movie theaters in the metaverse. Better get on it. And I also said banks, have banks in there. They have digital tellers. They can have everything done digitally the same way you would do it in person, right? And only have people going to the physical locations for things they absolutely have to. You can stand and wait in line in the metaverse. You can have that happen as well. Banks in there. Listen, those businesses are going to need that land. And that land is not infinite, which is why the value is going to go through the roof if it's not already doing that now. Those people who own metaverse land are going to make a lot of money. Just my humble opinion, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, and I don't ever want to be. Let's continue on with this here. NFTs are now widely touted as the key technology for powering ownership in what is called the metaverse, an immersive virtual world where people create, game, work, socialize, and more. Business is going to take over the metaverse, just like business is going to take over the early portion of the parabolic runs for the bank coins. They're just, yeah, they're going to make that price pop. And then the commercial banks and then the central banks will just step in and just dominate and buy everything in sight, in my humble opinion, because they need the liquidity. They need those liquidity pools to be high. Very high, in my humble opinion. It can be low. For efficiency of moving large amounts of money around, it behooves you to have a higher price in your liquidity pool and on the bridge currency that you're using, which if it's XRP, that price has to go higher. It just does. Logically speaking, it just does. If you know how the banking system works and you understand where the efficiency is going to come from, and you also understand the cushion that they need, they are terrible. They need a big cushion. It's like a life preserver. They need a big liquidity pool cushion. That price logically has to go up higher, much higher than where it is now. Much higher. Hey, some people disagree with that. I don't understand how, if you know the system and you understand how they're hemorrhaging money and you understand what type of liquidity they need, and on top of that, you're also taking into your calculation the little amounts of money that can cause them to have bank runs. If you understand that, there's no way you don't think that price has to go high in order for their bridge currency XRP and their liquidity pool to both be unbelievable prices, in my humble opinion. Like, you know, and I'm not saying to be too outlandish, but I'm saying it has to be much higher than where it is now. And people who are holding a ton of XRP, XLM, Algorand, Algo, H-bar, Cello, I believe they're gonna see some healthy returns. Not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. All right. I'm sorry. I have to be myself. NFTs represent ownership of unique forms like of value in the metaverse, and people can do things like value, trade, game, showcase, collateralize, lend, and more. They can do everything. They can do everything. So, what drives consumer interest now? Interest has skyrocketed. Interest. They didn't say the act on it, the act upon the situation. They said the interest in the situation. Like I said, which implicates what? That means the money is waiting on the side. They're salivating. They're interested, but they didn't pounce just yet. But they will. They will. They're wise. They're waiting. And they're advised. And so they're waiting. When there's regulatory clarity, just wait and see. When there's regulatory clarity, just wait and see. But it's still very early days, and despite rapid growth in use cases and adoption, there is a way to go before NFTs are fully mainstream. Many consumers still don't understand NFTs. When they say consumers, okay, they're not necessarily, remember, we're talking about Ripple here. They're not necessarily talking about the lay person, the civilian. They're talking about business institutions, people at business institutions, people in commercial banks, people in real estate and things of this nature, big money. They don't understand it yet. There's an education curve there. Then on top of that, there's the need to streamline a lot of this stuff and make it easier to use. Some of these NFT sites aren't so easy to use. Get this wallet over here, then connect, then you put some of your crypto. First, you got to go get the crypto, put it in the wallet, then connect the wallet. Listen, Big money people don't have time for that. Do you know the meetings, the stress that they're under? The amount of meetings they have per day? The amount of incompetent people working with them to frustrate them. So then they have to do all of this stuff. Most people, most higher ups and noteworthy individuals that can get their businesses involved, they don't have time for something that's not streamlined. So this is why you see a lot of the new NFT websites, especially like on Algorand, for instance, right? Because I've experienced great things with Algorand. And I'm going to assume that NFTs on XRPL will be the same, or are the same if they're already doing that, will be streamlined and very easy to use. You're going to see more of that until it's so simple, even a teenager could use it to upload and trade NFTs or tokenize something. That has to happen. Then you're going to see a huge wave of capital flow into NFTs, but first they have to be streamlined. So maybe we'll cover a little bit more of this. There's so many pages to this. This is a great PDF, by the way. Like I said, make sure you go to ripple.com, download this. You can go to their Twitter. They have a link there. Click that. You got to sign up, put in your information in order to download it. I also put a link in the members only section, so you can click that. You have to fill in your information in order to download the PDF, but it's a great PDF to have. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, let's get to the money.